guys, I'm back with another 10 bands or 10 metal bands you haven't heard but should list. It's been a little while since I've done a video because a lot of these things I was waiting to arrive from pre-orders or if they've come internationally. We've got 2 cassettes, 2 vinyls, that's 4 things, and then 8 CDs. Oh yeah, 1 is a double thing which I actually need to grab real quick. I forgot to do that before. So that is everything now. So one of them's a 7-inch vinyl as well. So I'm going to get right into it. I'll say sort of who the band are and what they play and the label. But other than that, check it out for yourself because I can't tell you if you'll like it. I just think they're good. So first we have Cryptic Brood. I was sent this one by their press company, Antropomorphia. I believe that's their press company because it's on Extreme Music, so I'm not sure that that's the label. Really good death doom, really lo-fi, harsh stuff. I really enjoyed this proper sort of dungeon crawling death metal with plenty of doomy atmospherics to it. And on that note, very similarly and only just released on 20 bucks spin, the new Ossuarium album, Living Tomb. It's on a gold cassette, this one. I think it looks really cool and it sounds even cooler. It's really just hideously heavy death metal with, again, some doomy atmospherics. Next, I'm going to do this 7-inch, which is actually kind of 2 bands, but this is the split of Gorephilia and Undergang. It's out on, I don't think I can say it, but Meisaka Una Ujo or something like that records. They're both really good bands. Undergang play sort of really lo-fi, crusty death metal, and they're from Denmark. And then Gorephilia are just really good, solid, dark old school death metal from, I believe, Finland, I want to say. I'll do the other vinyl now. So first up is Baest, spelled B-A-E-S-T, from Sweden, I believe. They sound very Swedish. This is actually quite a big one. It's on Century Media. But I think this band didn't really get as much attention as I was expecting, so I've really enjoyed this. You guys probably know I'm a big fan of the Swedish death metal sound by now. Another one, which I believe was on a large label, this one was Metal Blade Records, is Antropomorphia with, what's the album called? Evangelium Necromantia. I knew I wouldn't be able to say that. It's really good, again, old school death metal, really punishing. They've got quite a high level production, I would say, actually, for this kind of thing. But it's really heavy, it's really just tight, it's what you want. It's not all the bells and whistles maybe, it's just good classic death metal. Next we have some awesome speed, stroke black, stroke thrash, you know those kinds of bands. Hellripper, which is a solo project from Scotland on a cassette with Granite Factory Records. This is the full-length Coagulating Darkness. I'm really excited to see this dude perform with Midnight. He actually signed it for me, which is really cool. Hellripper are awesome. If you like bands like Midnight, Destroyer 666, shit, my brain's gone blank now. All those kinds of bands like Whip Striker, Bastardizer, the kind of bands you get a lot of on Hell's Headbangers kind of stuff. Really good. Now another 20 bucks spin release. This is last year. I remember everyone was posting all about Tomb Mold, Torture Rack, to a degree Ulthar, and there was a couple of others. But this one, there was almost nowhere near the level of people posting about it. And that is the 3rd album from Deadbird after, I believe, quite a long hiatus. The album is their 3rd full length called The Forest Within the Tree. This is the stunning digipack version. This is some crushingly heavy death doom. Not death doom, sorry. It's sort of, there are some death metal touches. It's like a sludge doom, maybe. But it's pretty dark in places with some touches like Pallbearer and Bellwitch, while in other places it's just got the full breakneck attack of bands like Crowbar. Next, on Peaceville Records, we have Mork, Eremittensdal, which is a Norwegian black metal band, Project's 3rd album. Their 4th one should be coming out this year, actually. It's really cool stuff. Despite confusion with the name, it's not meant to be Merk, which is spelled the same but with an accent on the O. which is the Norwegian word for dark. It is just Mork. I believe that's how he says it, because it's not actually a language, so it's hard to tell. This is really good if you like stuff like Dark Throne, worshipping bands playing black metal in the 90s Norwegian style. Next up, this is another release. There's been a couple that have been out for a little while. This is another of those from 2014 on Avant-Garde Music. But for the DSBM fans, Ofdrykkja, which is, I have no idea if I said that right, because it's Old Swedish Norse, like the Old Swedish dialect of the older Norse language for excessive drinking, so I guess like Ofdrykkja or something like that. It's called A Life Worth Losing. This is the A5 Digipack. It's so depressing. It's really, really sort of dragging, bleak, melancholic, bitter music, and I absolutely adore it, from Sweden. And last up on Van Records, the album everyone's sort of talking about anyway, but fuck it, I want to have a go as well. Sulphur Aeon with the... fucking hell, I ruined that. Sulphur Aeon, the Scythe of Cosmic Chaos on Van Records, or Van Records, in this lovely slip-cased digipack version, with elements of sort of modern and old-school death metal, creating something both brutal and brooding with contempt. There are elements of doom and black adding to the atmospherics of it. It's just ridiculously good. I heard the single from it, and I was like, okay, it's really good. They're a really solid band. It didn't blow my mind in the same way that other releases did. I then bought the CD anyway, because I was like, you know, this good, it's entertaining me, I want to support the band, and I want to see if I get into it more. If not, I'll figure out where to go from there. That's never actually happened to me. I've never given anything, sold anything. My collection has only grown, but so it arrived, and I stuck it on, and the first, I listened to it once before to review it, and I enjoyed it a lot more than when I just heard the single. And then when it arrived on CD and I listened to it again, I enjoyed it even more. And every time I've listened to it since, I'm finding new things that I just love about it. It's one of those records, it starts amazing and then gets even better every time you hear it from start to finish. It should not be listened to as an incomplete thing, I think it has to be heard as an album to work and create this Lovecraftian aesthetic and aura that the music has. But yeah, that's damn awesome. I've kind of witted about that one a bit more than I should have perhaps, but those are 10 more releases to check out. If you know them already, awesome, my job's done. If you don't, if one person finds one new band here, then sitting here and talking about music in front of a camera was worth the time. I'm already putting together the list for the next part in the series. This was part 8, I believe. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for those, because part 10 will ultimately mean 100 metal bands you haven't heard but should. Thanks for watching. Stay metal.